We're Brian and Nick. You may remember us. We were pacing very nervously by that door as you all walked in. How you guys doing tonight?
Thank you so much for coming out. Nick and I have been working as a duo for like 20 years now, trying to make a movie. They finally let us do it. So a lot of people here have been with us through a lot of this journey. So if you helped us out, or if you've just been supportive of us, or you've just been a fan, or just met us tonight and don't know what the fuck you're about to see, thank you so much. This is a really, really important moment for us.
Thank you to Hulu for not really ever giving a single note to this movie, which that is true. See it.
And also, we're very thankful to Hulu for letting us, release a film right now, which is amazing. But we obviously love this communal experience, especially for a comedy. So thank you for coming out to see this how we would really love it to be seen. So this is exactly what we'd always hoped. So
we're so glad all of you could make it, except for whoever is sitting dead center in this empty seat here.
My father's seat. Anyway, we should get off stage. We should get out here. This is a pretty wild movie, so strap in. It's 92 minutes.
Yeah,
we'll see you after. Yes.
We don't have any marketing budget for this movie. So, please, I know they said no cell phones. Take a picture of something and post it online and tell people to watch this. It's on Hulu, April 3rd. Please also open up your laptop and play it. And you don't have to watch it again, but just play it from as many different IP addresses as you can.
It's getting really desperate. We're going to watch it. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Mr. Jack Martin here.
Yeah! Woo! Yes! Woo!
This is awesome. I don't have much.
I think we've got 4. Okay.
We're gonna share that.
Yeah.
All right. Good to see you guys. Well, congratulations. The cool thing about tonight was you got to see it in a theater with a crowd. And Bella, your cinematography is incredible.
Unreal, right? Which is
This is gonna get nerdy because I want to talk about spherical and anamorphic lenses and everything you were doing. But seeing this with a crowd reminded me of being like in the 90s and early 2000s, just seeing a comedy, an R-rated comedy, in a way that just it felt special, laughing with the audience. And so I want to go down the line and memory lane a little bit. It doesn't have to be super long, but a movie that you remember seeing in theaters that gave you this feeling that the audience may have had tonight, where you really just kind of felt that communal presence of sitting with strangers and just laughing. And there's so many references and movie elements in there. So I'll start with you, Nick, first.
Any of the Jackass movies. I think this movie pales in comparison to the Jackass movies, but I saw Jackass Forever in a theater and laughed, and then cried emotionally that I was so happy.
I remember when I was 13, I just finished 7th grade, and so school year had just ended, so I'm already on that high, and I went to go see Austin Powers 2, 2 of my best friends, and I could not breathe. It was one of those moments, and that you're that age where it's just like, and then I remember I was just like giddy for like the whole weekend. But that was of that time period. Like I feel like there was a movie almost every year, or 2 movies a year, that sort of made you do that in theaters, which was like, I feel like we've lost a little bit. So that's part of the reason why we wanted to make something.
That's why tonight was so special, because you guys got to have the theatrical experience of the film before it hits streaming on Friday on Hulu, which is going to be amazing as well. Get together with your friends, do sleepovers, have fun, watch the movie, order a pizza. Sleepovers. Jack Martin, by the way, you were amazing in the film, man. That was...
You sound more psychotic in real life. I mean that. You scare us. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, you were phenomenal, man. So, what's a film that meant a lot to you, kind of like what this will mean for people?
This is a horrible answer, but it just what came to mind. It was also when I was 13, core memory. I saw Lego Batman.
Woo! Yeah, you were just 13 when that
I'm so sorry.
like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Lulu, you were absolutely amazing in the film. Good afternoon. Amazing performance. Love your character. Love your art.
Thank you.
Yeah. So congratulations to you. What about for you?
It has to be Anchorman 2.
Woo!
Specifically
but then also later watching the unrated version where they have musical numbers.
I love that. Sean Giambrone, you are absolutely amazing. Great performance. Somebody who really captured the character perfectly, and you earned your arc at the end. You really do. You earned that moment of. I love that moment at the end. I won't go into what you guys already saw. So but Sean, for you, what was that movie for you growing up?
You know, I can't think of it. I mean, like we had a lot of like my dad, brother. We would kind of watch movies together, and I don't know, Austin Powers. The Hangover on Christmas. And that came out. That was crazy. We watched that as a family.
R-rated comedies of the family is the best. Bella Gonzales, an amazing cinematographer. What do we not point out? Comedies can be shot really well. I feel like The Hangover is one of the best examples I ever saw. Larry Shearer, who shot that film. Comedies, I feel like sometimes they'll go, oh, well, you got to think about the art to them, because they really are. It's a brilliant genre, and I think it should be appreciated more in terms of filmmaking. But this was shot like incredibly well. Can you speak about, well, first of all, your theatrical experience, and then we'll dive into some of your cinematography.
So this is going to be no shock to anyone on this stage, but for me it was Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and I wanted to make a movie like Scott Pilgrim like my whole existence, like since I've seen it. And then I remember Daniel, who's here, who's my agent, sent this to me. Yeah, woo! Sent it to me, and I read it, and I was like, oh, this is maybe the closest thing I'll ever get to making something like that. So it's really important. Like I see people reviewing and saying that, and like genuinely like wanting to cry. It's like crazy.
Especially when they become one. There's like definitely like that aspect ratio thing as well. But talk about like, so lenses are interesting, and this might, I don't want to get too inside baseball, but I love this stuff. But you shot anamorphic and spherical, which is generally you see a movie shot anamorphically or spherically. It depends on the film itself. But why did you choose that? Because the way when we enter the drug moments, or we're actually entering the phases, you are playing with lighting and you're distorting your lenses in a way that's really interesting, that does immerse us in that. So can you speak about that?
Totally. I mean, I think our main references were like, 80s, 90s, early thousands comedies. And like Brian looked at me and was like, can we shoot film? And I said no. And so I just really wanted to try and make it look like our version of what that is, like the nostalgia of that, the cinematic quality, like the texture of it. And so that kind of like drove all of our decisions. And then I think just like the drug trips are just like shooting like 6 different movies. So, and to make it to mock ourselves, to mock big movies, to mock blockbusters. Like that's the anamorphic really, like Brian was like, I really wanted to feel uber cinematic, and with Jack Martin as Blake, who's like psychopathic, it was really important to me to like make him like that villain that you would see in like a Bond movie, so
The slow zooms in, like, yeah.
But there's so much, like our butterfly is a different piece of equipment.
Daniel Radcliffe, by the way.
Yeah. Daniel Radcliffe.
How many custom filters did you make?
We built
You were like making them on set.
120. Every filter in this movie is handmade by me and my business partner, Andrew Boy, and we made them all sorts of ways and stacked them, but just trying to find something that doesn't, it's a new drug, and we have tons of drug movies and they're all great, but it's like, how do you put their spin on what this drug is and really try to make it them, which is so original, right? It's probably why you love the movie. So just trying to match their energy, I guess, visually.
Yeah, we also kind of wanted, because most of the drug trips are anamorphic, and then when they're not on it, it's a spherical. And then we had some other moments that were anamorphic as well.
Yeah.
But like, we kind of wanted to tease the audience for the first 15 to 20 minutes, like you're watching a movie you've seen before.
Yeah.
We shot it spherically. We didn't do anything crazy with the lighting. The jokes are a little bit more. They're about farting and piss, and it's like you feel like you're sort of in a classic teen comedy. So then when we start going into anamorphic and we start sort of changing,
Then we get into the foreskin joke.
right. Then we get
Piss, high,
catch you off guard.
Well, Nick and Brian, you guys have been working together for two decades now. Is it 20 years?
Since Jack Martin was born.
Wow. Lego Batman. But your history is incredible. For people who don't know BriTANick, obviously you guys have been doing incredible work. Great people. The writing you did on SNL was incredible as well. But this is your first feature film. And I do want to mention they also wrote an amazing film coming out later this month in theaters called Over Your Dead Body, which is fantastic as well. Like Norman directed from the Lonely Island. It's amazing. But for each of you to kind of sit here in a theater tonight, I mean, I was watching Brian. You were sitting there like a proud dad looking at your movie. I mean, it really was a beautiful thing to watch because I can't imagine what that would mean to you to see a film that you both made on screen with an audience. And I'm just curious what this moment means to each of you.
It's really surreal because I went to film school at NYU, and it's like you sort of dream of this moment. Like, you know, what's it going to be like when I premiere my first movie? And then we premiered at South by Southwest, and I was kind of not even there for that. I was like out of body. But now doing these screenings, I can really just sort of like absorb it, and the fact that I know so many people here. It's also like feels monumental because we've just tried for 2 decades, and it's really hard to make a movie. It's really hard to get money and to get a crew and to get people to trust you to do it. Kind of felt like it would never happen for a while. We sort of gave up and started performing at the Edinburgh Fringe for a few years in Scotland, which is ironically how we got this movie. But like, it feels great to, and I think I was just like, always like, I just want to make at least one movie. Let's just make one, please. Can we do it one day? And now we've made one. So it feels really great. I mean, it's really, I don't know what's next.
I would agree. I remember at the South by premiere, which was amazing, getting emotional and that not syncing up with what's playing on screen at all, where I'm like, this is beautiful, this film, and it's like a foreskin joke.
Well, I do want to bring up the idea. So is that really your grandfather?
No, that's actor Peter Garrity. So that joke in the movie for the longest time in the script was, we say Hulu wants us to cast a celebrity, and in the script it was and whatever celebrity we can get will then show up where the grandfather was.
Right.
And we couldn't find one.
We've asked Daniel Radcliffe for that. And he do it. Then we went down. It was like getting to Nathan Lane. Not that he's down, he's up. But it was for teens now, it was an interesting choice.
And so we were, and then we did have the option of some celebrities that we were we will have to walk people through how this is a famous person.
Yeah, it was getting to that point.
And so then we had the idea of what if it's my grandfather? And Peter Garrity is an amazing character actor. If you look at his IMDb, it's insanely long.
It's great. He's been in
the
everything.
first season of The Wire. He's done a bunch of stuff. And he dates my mom's friend. And he lives in upstate New York. And we had done a sketch with him years ago. And I was like, I called my mom and had her call his girlfriend. And was would Peter be up for doing this? And they were send the script. And then Peter called me and we had a 3-hour conversation about his character. And around hour 2, I was like, I don't know, man. I appreciate the level of that work you're doing here. It's not entirely that type of movie.
And the best part, you two probably remember this, because I remember Gaten also found this so funny. We shot with them, and after about shooting for 30 minutes, we had gotten everything we needed, but as we were setting up the shot or changing light, he went, well, thanks guys, and just stood up and left. And Gaten was like, did he just rap himself?
All the extras are we're allowed to do that?
You gotta be 85 to do that, apparently. But he was done. He was out of the building. We couldn't find him.
So Jack, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but I would assume that your character is a big movie fan. I mean, he clearly he understands. I don't know if he's actively doing homages, but there are so many movie homages that in this movie, especially in Glorious Bastards, where you have that sequence about the pickle bong. And then obviously there's a professional reference I thought was the Gary Oldman everyone moment. Talk about those aspects of the film and kind of playing in an homage to some horror villains, his villains in cinema.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, BriTANick just wrote the craziest, funniest character ever. This was presented to me as must be genuinely horrifying and appears as Hans Landa in Glorious Bastards. And I just thought the idea of putting that guy in this movie was the funniest thing I'd ever heard. I pictured him in my head as being into weird esoteric novels from 1850, but probably also a fanboy of the movies that we're referencing. The Inglourious Bastard scene was the first scene that I shot, so I was so nervous because it's an homage to like the greatest performance ever. So I couldn't sleep the night before. But I mean, me, Nick, Brian, and Bella sat in the conference room of our hotel that we all stayed in together and just like workshopped it, and she had a whiteboard that was like the room from top down where all the lights would be, and we decided like how much of an homage we wanted to make it. So it was very thought out, but hopefully it played. So
it's really incredible. It's an amazing performance. I'm always fascinated by little character details. Lulu, I've never met you before until tonight. She had a tattoo on her knee.
Yeah,
Is that yours or the character's?
that's my tattoo.
Okay. So that becomes an interesting thing about like, you know, when a character has the same tattoo as the person playing the character. Like, did you build that in?
It often syncs up with the makeup budget.
Yeah. Cover it. No, but did you think about like why she might have the same tattoo as you?
You know, no. But I could think about it a little bit because that is interesting. You know, I thought yeah.
I remember we kind of had a conversation about it, but we were like, you know, Lizzie kind of lives between two worlds. She's trying things, and she's, you know, I can see her getting a tattoo just to do it.
And that's the truth.
Physicality is a huge part of this movie. Sean, you and Lulu, like the physicality, especially in the one when you guys become one, like the physicality is just fun to watch. And I think you can learn so much about a person through the way they move, the way they fight. But can you speak about physicality in comedy? And the idea of just being physical and having that play to comedy as well, but also that scene where you're all fighting together and kind of how you connected literally to film that sequence. You and Lulu can both hear about that.
Yeah, it was all the times that I've done kind of stunt sequences have been in horror movies or more dramatic movies. So it was interesting kind of taking that aspect out and doing it in a more fun way, I guess. But honestly, we just had a blast. Like we all threw ourselves into it. We didn't think about any possible shame we would have, and we kind of just did whatever Nick and Brian asked us to do, and it was awesome. It was great. Yeah, when they told us to jump, we jumped.
And Sean, for you?
Yeah, one of my top favorite actors is Jackie Chan. So getting to do like having a scripted thing where we're like fighting and there's like all these like pauses that are comedic and things just really played into what I really want to do too. So and then us just kind of like synchronized walking. It was just we had to like practice stuff before and after. So it's just a really like step up, see what happens, and let's just have some fun and then spinning in the air.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was really fun.
You guys were really such troopers. That whole final sequence in the old study hall took like a week to film, and there were so many wire stunts. In that scene where Caleb comes in as the Grinch in a diaper, which I can't believe that's on. You guys are just upside down, you at the bottom, and you guys on our legs, just like holding you guys upside down and having to do that scene. I just remember being like, is this road breaking? It was like 3 a.m. It was really, we were all crazy at that moment. Thank you for doing that.
It was really fun.
Another thing in terms of like, were you gonna say something, Lulu? I'm sorry.
I just thought it was fun.
I always find it interesting to look at the posters on the walls in characters' rooms. And then I've seen the movie a few times now, so I just kind of looked out for this on purpose. But I saw a Toxic Avenger poster. Classic. And it was a Ballroom Dancing Legends Live 2022. What is that?
Well, our production designer, Frankie Palumbo, who's not here, which she's amazing, was a big part of that.
She told Sean and Gaten early when they were designing the dorm room and were like, what do you see on the walls? She had them like on the desk, like actually write on the desk, so it was like Gaten's handwriting. And I remember us all talking about the ballroom dancing, and we were like, absolutely, Montgomery is into ballroom dancing.
There's a poster of a movie called Life of Squeam with
Yes! I go back on the wall.
I remember she being like, what is whatever action. And then Toxic Avenger, it was like Gaten, we loved defining Gaten's character because he's kind of out of time a little bit. He's not with it. He's sort of like beats to the and Gaten's kind of like that too. He like has so many references and doesn't care about like being in the zeitgeist or whatever. So the idea that this kid loves 90s trauma films or whatever is also very cool. And also Bella's dad shot the new Toxic Avenger, so it's like
was just ripping him off. Like as we were shooting it, he's like, I think you're just doing our thing but better. So it was really funny and like really cool. Like when I walked into the room to see that poster, because I thought it was like the coolest thing in the world that he did Toxic Avenger, and then just it felt like a little piece of, I don't know, us in everything, right? Thanks to Frankie and just like Nick and Brian and all the care and all that.
What is that like to share cinematography with your father in that way, in the sense of like the movies you shoot versus he shoot? I mean, it's an interesting thing.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I'm obsessed with my dad. I think he's a legend and an icon, and I'm so blessed that I get to work with him, and then I'm blessed that I get to come do my own things, and I just know it's so precious, you know, that I get to do that with my dad. So I'll do it until I can no more. But I think it's always nice to be able to like flex skill a little bit, you know, and come and kind of show what I can do. But he did. Are you gonna say this?
I was just gonna say you're the only nepo baby we hired.
Yeah, it's me. It's me. I know. But my dad, what I found really funny about this job is I needed someone to come pre-light a set for me. And we were like talking about it. Anyone would have to fly in. And I was like, what if my dad just comes and does it? And so he did. He came, he worked for me. So it was like the first time role reversal he had pre-lit something for me. So also very special.
That's really beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Just real quick off the posters question, because you can kind of learn a lot about a person through the posters they had in their rooms. For each of you, what posters did you guys have in your childhood rooms growing up?
I had Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Woo! I also had a ripped out page from Teen People. They did an issue of the 43 sexiest men, and our buddy Chris Lowell was number what? 37?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that. And I had it up there because I wanted people to ask me why. And I'd be like, I know someone famous.
The four in my room when I was... We're such idiots. When I was a kid, I had Man on the Moon, the Jim Carrey movie, on my door. I had Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I had the Beatles, and then above my bed, I had a signed gigantic poster of David Copperfield. Dude, I am so wasting, man. He was everything when I was a kid. Dude, magic. I went to the Fox Theater in Atlanta every year with my mom, and just like, dream to dream. All right, you.
This is another horrible answer, but the one that comes to mind is above the mirror in the bathroom, I had a poster of Stephen Colbert. Like Colbert Report, Rally to Restore Sanity era Colbert. It's not going to help me beat the psychopath in real life.
Lulu?
I had an Empire Records poster, which is like one of my favorite movies, and I had the In Utero Nirvana vinyl on my wall. Pretty cool.
That's a good one.
That's a great. You are like the coolest person here. Remember one day, late at night, Gaten and I were singing Wicked to each other, because of course we were. And Lulu just came up, she's like, that's a kid's movie.
Sean, what about you, buddy?
I don't think I ever had a poster. What was in your room? I'm thinking back and I'm like,
You have to understand how much this tracks. Sean, we very quickly, early on, realized that what an incredible human being Sean is. And we were like, I was like, our job as directors is to really make sure that the real stuff comes through. And there's several moments in the movie where we used shots of Sean where he's not a character, he's talking to us, the directors, about the line. My line just worked out, and we were like, yeah, I can't believe that works. But it works.
I'm just gonna say, I'm just gonna tangent for a minute because it's so funny. Sean is the blooper king of this movie, because what happens when Sean can't remember a line, most people go, I forgot the line, let's do it again. Sean just says something comes out, and the one that like took us down for like 30 minutes was when they first did the Sarah Sherman video. He's supposed to say, oh my god, I'm about to get chainsaw fucked by the rat king from the Nutcracker. And he was doing the scene and he got to that line and he goes, oh no, I'm gonna get fucked by the cheese man. And we were like,
Shut down set for 20 minutes. The cheese man, did we rewrite this movie?
to have the cheese, man.
I think I want to start saying cheese and rice in my life. Like that. Bella, what about you?
Oh no.
Posters.
I only had one poster of a movie, and it was English Patient. I'm really hoping you would skip it.
That's fantastic. So, Sean, real quick on something what I found interesting. This is such a little detail, but like the moment when he's so upset about his butterfly, there's something about, and again, this kind of relates more to animals too, and like dogs and whatever. When you're watching a film, it's almost harder to watch an animal get hurt or a bug in that sense than it is to watch a human sometimes in a movie. And I think that speaks to the vulnerability of the character in a way. And I know it's an insane film, but there is grounded characters, people that we actually care about. And I found that to be a really interesting scene. I don't really know what the question is, more of just like, you know, what are your thoughts on like something like that to show vulnerability for a character? You know, it's ridiculous, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but yeah, it was like it was a key moment.
You play it straight, like you play it right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like, because it was just so specific that I don't know. Just, oh well, actually for rehearsals, well I don't know. Well I don't know. I don't know. Okay.
What he was going to say is he and Nick got into the vent to practice the scene together.
Yeah.
And Bella was pretty upset that we were so close to her.
But I don't know. It was like Lulu and I in the vent, and then there was just like a toy butterfly, and the vent was just like in a school gym. So it just kept getting more and more like, this is really, it's really something. And
It's a great scene.
It's also the first day we shot.
yeah, first day. So it was, I don't know. I just was like locked in, like, or I was like, you know what, gotta lock in. And I just knew it was like a breaking point, and this guy's gone through a lot. And then you're just cutting right to his heart, like, why are you coming after his butterfly? So, yeah, I broke, and, or the character broke.
Long before that.
Daniel Radcliffe as the butterfly. How did that come about?
Who knows, dude?
We have some mutual friends with Dan, and we've met him a couple times before, and we were like, the butterfly in the script I think had one line, and then in the edit we were like, oh, there's room for like a whole monologue here. and we were like, we've always imagined, you know, the entity of Lysander being this sort of British warlord. And so we were like, oh, it'd be so funny if we got Daniel Radcliffe to do this. And so we asked our mutual friends, like, hey, would you bring this to him? And they were like, sure, I don't think he's gonna do it. He responded yes so quickly. It was so enthusiastic and like was wonderful to work with. And we did another take. We did the take that's in the movie, and we did another version where he's like a British fop, which if DVD features still existed, I would love to include that version.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, but he was amazing. I mean, he just commits to, I think Gaten's kind of following in his footsteps in a way where it's like he has, done this huge thing, but now just wants to do like weird, crazy shit. And
Swiss Army Man style stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And Dan, and he just committed him to the booth and just committed, all the way, and that's all we've been asked. I mean, it was really, very grateful.
Let's talk about score, because I think one thing that's interesting about comedy, because you have Leo and Zach doing your score.
Yes.
And score is obviously, it's so tonal and so interesting because it also plays into the comedy, it plays into the seriousness of, if you're trying to be serious, comedic. Can you talk about, as writers and directors, the way you use music? Because it really has to, obviously it's married beautifully to Bella's cinematography as well, so there's just an interesting, and the editing of the film. Who's your
Matt McBrayer.
It's really good filmmaking. So talk about your use of score.
I mean, Leo and Zach, we knew, if you watched our BriTANick sketches over the years, we like to be a little bit cinematic in what we do. We know this movie was going to hit those cinematic marks. And we also knew we had to change genres a lot and do a lot of different styles. But we never wanted it to feel like just a little like staccato, little comedy. Everything wanted to feel like it had the gravitas of Inglourious Bastards, or if it's a weird shadow puppet show for Grawl College, scary, or it needs to feel kind of John Williams-esque by the end. And Leo and Zach, they actually won the Emmy for their score for the Weird Al movie last year, and they just understood the assignment from the first meeting, and it just, though everything that they've done, they know how to do a lot of comedy, but they play it seriously. And I think that's what we really wanted to do, is the cinematography, the acting, the score. Even though we're making the most ridiculous comedy, let's try to make it like as powerful as possible when it needs to be. We talk about this all the time. We love when people get goosebumps watching our stuff and then getting mad that they got goosebumps, because it's about they're seeing the dumbest thing imaginable, but like we have manipulated them through film to feel that way. And Leo, there was an 80-piece orchestra in Budapest that did this, and then a 12-piece orchestra for Winds here in LA. Like, it was like, they really got like some incredible musicians to make this. I think they're releasing the album on Spotify or something, but it's really great music.
Yeah, we also, before we shot the first drug trip, I think 3 days before, we're like, we need an insane song that's like happy, happy, joy, joy. And you make that. And I think they had it to us in 15 minutes. Not that it's the most complicated song. Everything's happy, everything's nice, but yeah.
Yeah, we love those guys.
In terms of this, the writing, callbacks are such an interesting thing in comedy, right? Like the balloons coming back and jokes that you kind of plant, like Inception in our minds, and then they come back later. That's all timing.
Yeah.
And so, one other thing that is interesting about what your script is in this movie is like you trust the audience to collaborate with you as we go along for the ride. Like you're trusting that we're going to remember that moment and it's going to land once we get to the end. Can you talk about timing and replacing things in a moment that you know we're going to come back to, that it has to hit at the right beat?
Yeah, some review that I deeply loved talked about how, you know, how like the Chekhov's gun thing of, if there's a gun on the thing, you better fire it in Act 3. And they were like, it's like Chekhov's armory on the wall, how many things have set up and come back. And we deeply love that in movies. Like I always appreciate that in a movie when there's like just a bunch of threads that are set up early on and then they come back in really satisfying ways. And we always are just trying to do that as much as we can. Certain projects you can, others it doesn't really work for. But I always just appreciate that, even if in a movie I'm watching, even if it doesn't totally work, I love just, because I know how hard it is to do that. And it's like, it's got to work on the front end and it's also got to work on the back end, and that could be very difficult.
It also makes your movie just talk to itself. It feels like it's all part of the same thing, and that random ideas aren't just showing up at the end, but they're all placed in the beginning. Farce is a really big influence on us. We love Faulty Towers. We love like Noises Off. I Love Lucy. Like all these like classic comedies where it is really like you sort of put these seeds down at the beginning and then you kind of watch them grow and show up at the end. And it's really hard to write, but it really feels, I really love the third act here when it's like everything comes back from Lizzie the Magnificent, to the butterfly, to the nightmares of the balloons, to the mints taking too much, you see their true nature. Like it's really fun to like just plant those and have them come back. And you do have to trust the audience has listened and retained it, because if you guide them there a little too much, it doesn't feel cool when it happens. It feels cool when the audience goes, oh right, that. And so like we just want to, you're taking a little bit of a risk doing it, but I think you pay attention, you absorb that stuff, even if it's subconscious. Your brain looks to remember, wait, why do I know that? Oh, right, that scene earlier. So you're sort of taking a little bit of a gamble, but we love the feeling of it.
Yeah, it's incredible, and it pays off so well. I don't know how much time we have left. I haven't seen anybody wrap me up yet, but yeah. Well, how much? Oh, we got to wrap it up. Doing that bad? All right. So Pizza Movie on Hulu, Disney Plus. Hulu on Disney Plus.
Woo! Yeah.
It's kind of confusing, to be honest. But it's on Hulu this Friday. Hulu on Disney Plus. There's packages as well. You can definitely check it out.
Everyone's technically, this is what the marketing department told us to say. It's on Hulu, and it's on Hulu on Disney Plus, and it's on Disney Plus globally. We're like, it rolls off the tongue.
Thank you for doing my job for me. I appreciate that. Congratulations to all of you. Everyone.
Separate laptops.
Thanks, guys.
Au revoir. Thanks, guys.